Let's play Immortality, Scene 5. Bop. Why did I say it like that? We're about to uncover bigger secrets because last episode was finally the episode where we cracked the shell. We throw back the veil over the mystery. And now what we have to do is basically find out what the heck is going on. Because, well, in my head, it's shapeshifters, but who knows? And what I will do today is find a lot of the brewer scenes. So it will be tedious for me, both in recording, finding this out, and in editing. Because then we can... apparently, in some scenes, if you go, like, we rewind... No, not... Yeah, we rewind slowly. You see hidden images. And that's where we want to... where we want to go, where we want to find out what's going on. And there was a scene that I discovered during editing, but I already forgot which one it was. Amazing, fantastic. So yeah, I will slowly go through and try to find out where it is, what is happening. Wait. Oh wait. Ah! Who are you? We have not seen you before. Hi. It's like he's sleeping and we interrupted him, and he's in a cave. Waiting to emerge? Huh. Let's see if we can get something here, because very often happens, but it's really just the focus on her. God, that wig. Jesus Christ. Okay, nothing. No, okay.
You killed it at the award.
Ah!
Arthur Fisher was dying and he was mending bridges. He came to me and he brought me a gift. The Ambrosio negatives he'd stolen.
Ooh!
After
Oh! Arthur Fisher, the director.
he
Okay.
left, I watched them. I felt the pain in my heart. I felt the grief at who I'd been back then. I realized I missed Marissa and spontaneously brought her back.
Yeah, so she's a shapeshifter, and so they take on characters, but they also let go of them again. Interesting. So Arthur Fisher knew about that? That is weird. So we more often find it when we have just her, right? It's not who you think he is. Maybe we should look at a few more scenes where they both together. Maybe the painting scene. Or did I do that last time? The question really is if the director, if he knows about her or not. Oh, there you go.
The other one wants me to choose between everything that's real and an idea. It's impossible.
The other one is probably the one that is the other actor that she doesn't like. Justin, man, names. And maybe she had to kill him because he made her choose between those two lives, like either stay Marissa or stay the shapeshifter. It's a little bit tedious, I gotta say. Because you never know whether it's at the beginning, or in the middle, or at the end, and you don't even know when it will happen, and in which scene. So it's quite like, because it's so slow, it is, yeah, it's a little bit tedious. It is totally worth it whenever it actually works, but when it doesn't work, it's like, oh. I might try to find new scenes because this is a little bit tedious, and I will do this, I think, intermittently. So I will try to find new scenes and then now and then pick a scene and try to rewind it so I don't bore myself too much trying to go through all this. Because it takes quite a long, like, it takes a couple of minutes for each clip. And to go through all of them and nothing happens. I mean, you know, I will play like 90 minutes and then you'll get like 20 minutes of a Let's Play. So that will be boring for you, but it will also be tedious and boring for me. And since you can't fast forward to certain scenes, you know, just to the beginning and the end, it's even more tedious because you know there are scenes where she's face on, but you have to slog through other stuff, you know, it's kind of... I don't know why they didn't implement... I really don't know why they didn't implement rewind and fast forwarding. It's just... It's the one thing about this game that really boggles my mind.
Do you love it? It's my natural color.
Ah, there you go.
Man has mastered the surface of the planet. Space. But we have mastery over time. Our perspective's different. We sleep to maneuver. Sometimes because we're tired. When we take on a form, we absorb so much of its history. If you do that too many times, it can make you crazy or powerful. I've argued with the other one about that distinction.
So they take on other people, but those people do exist, right? Oh man, I can't. I'm just running out of patience here. Just I can't. I don't wanna. It takes so long. I cannot. This is no. So I have another theory. So sometimes we see this little loading wheel. Maybe that indicates that there's something going on. So I will see if that's something that I can concentrate on. there you go. And there she is. I really wonder what her story is here, what her role is. Oh, but this is new, so let's look at this.
All right, test read for 2 of everything.
Rest in peace, tell him I'm dangerous.
I'm too dangerous for everything. All right, so Marissa, you will be reading Heather. Amy, you're reading Isabella.
John wrote the part for me, so if you need any tips.
Heather is you when you were younger, Maria, you as you are now.
Taken to extremes for dramatic effect. She's greeted by the beautiful Isabella, 40s, wearing a white blouse and long dress. She has the vague continental accent that could put her from anywhere.
Maria, it's such a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm Isabella Hessenberg.
Isabella kisses Heather on both cheeks, squeezing her upper arms approvingly. Heather smiles, slightly uncomfortable.
So healthy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Would you like something to eat?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. I ate on the plane.
Well, have a drink.
A maid with a tray of champagne flutes steps forward. Isabella passes one to Heather, takes one for herself.
Thank you. This place is so beautiful. Did you do all of this yourself?
B. Isabella looks at her, eyes narrowed, and Heather thinks she's messed it up already. Then Isabella smiles.
No.
Bort Hansen did most of it. Do you know him? He just did Calvin Klein's Miami home?
I don't know Bort, but I do know Calvin Klein. I have some of his underwear.
Isabella laughs politely.
Well, shall I show you around?
I would love that.
The bodyguard follows with the bag as Isabella shows her 2 interior Hessenberg residence living room. A massive living room with a white grand piano and a view of the city. Isabella runs her hand along the piano.
This is beautiful.
Perhaps you can perform for us here later tonight.
I'd love to, but my piano skills are a little rusty.
We'll have someone play for you.
She's sizing Maria up with her eyes.
Andrew was surprised you said yes. He was convinced something like this would be beneath you.
Oh, well,
There's no shame in doing something for the money. Michelangelo worked on commission.
that would make Mr. Hessenberg the Pope?
Andrew is no pope. And you are no Michelangelo. I mean that as a compliment. All of Michelangelo's women look like men with tits stuck on them.
Yeah, we talked about this last episode. I have my thoughts about that.
And scene.
Amy, that was fabulous.
I hear it.
Should we,
I hear the
go
woo.
get some-
Aha!
Shall we get something to eat and then come back and see how you do with Maria?
It's interesting that in some of these clips she is dressed the same as Marissa and is really interacting, and in others she's more like outside of it, you know. The black and white is basically just more hindsight, you know, like out of this in a different dimension or something, or in between. The netherworld, as I like to call it. It's not my invention though. Just a good descriptor. And in some she's really in it, and since she said she wanted to bring her back because she was fond of her. And earlier she said, you know, you can get really powerful, but you can also get a little bit crazy. But I think it's more about you can be caught up in the person that you're pretending to be or inheriting, because then you lose yourself. As you know, with a lot of shape-shifting stories, like I know it, you know it. But really, you know, it's like that. You cannot. It's the same, I think, with acting, which is fitting, you know, since that's probably part of it. Because I think if you lose yourself in your characters too much, you can also lose yourself. Which is why method acting, for example, is a slippery slope and very often misunderstood by a lot of assholes to be like just weird, you know. I think method acting in its essence is actually a good thing. But a lot of people like Jared Leto and Robert Pattinson, etc., they don't really get what method acting is actually about. It's about conjuring up you know, getting emotions from your own life and using those emotions, you know, so they feel more real. But it's what they think method acting is like actually experiencing the same that the character did, that they did. Like, they will not shower, you know, stink up the place. They will be rude the whole time. They will stay in character. That's not method acting. I think the actual core of method acting is just using your own emotions, you know, conjuring up maybe even trauma and stuff like that to have it raw and not behaving like a complete weirdo on set. But here you have this, you know, that the shapeshifter is getting too caught up in her own former character that she goes back, which is maybe not a good idea. Alright, so we got this. But also, she seems to be a good key for interesting stuff, so let's continue. Oh! We also did not see this before.
Scene 74 Alpha, take 7.
Action.
Is the seat taken?
Actually, yes, I'm waiting for someone.
Detective Murphy, perhaps? He won't be joining us.
Do I know you?
Isabella Hessenberg. And I know who you are, Heather. You really look nothing like her.
I don't want to talk to you.
That's a
you
total
should.
lie. She looks
We both
exactly
asked
like
the same
her.
thing.
What?
We want to know what happened to your friend.
It was an accident.
But you don't think it was? I've been married to Andrew for a long time. It's a complicated relationship. Legally, morally. He's a very powerful man. And that limits what I can do, what I can say, what I can see. I don't like seeing other women get hurt.
You think Maria had something to do with Andrew's death? You think Andrew had something to do with Maria's death?
I've seen what it looks like when power goes unchecked. I don't know if Andrew remembers what it is to be human.
Have you told the police?
How do you think I found you? The police work for Andrew. I stepped in before any of this reached him, but you don't want him to know you're poking around.
Well, what are we supposed to do?
Well, that's complicated.
Is it?
I hope that you find what you're looking for. Good luck.
Well, wait, where are you going? Wait. VIP.
Ooh, that's a lot of blood from the head.
John? Where did John go?
Holy shit.
The medic's coming. Where did John go?
She knows something. Oh. Okay. You better give me something. That scene should give me something. Is it going backwards? Yes. You never know. You never know. Like nosebleeds and from the eye. I mean, that's shit. Oh.
Don't let this happen.
Oh.
You can come back from this.
Not again. It's okay. Let me die the way you died, and I'll be more.
Okay. So we have two shapeshifters, and the other one, maybe he even warned her the last time. and said, you cannot stay in this character, you need to turn back. And maybe there's a violent way to leave the character, and maybe there's a healthy way, you know, where you just zip out of it. And she said, you know, let me come back like you did, because maybe that will give you the power, that you basically rise like a phoenix. You know, you have to die to be back stronger, you know. And also it's very interesting. So the other one is that other lady. Like, their names are being written down. Like, I read the names, I hear the names, like, and I cannot remember. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so that's why she is so concerned, because it's the other one being concerned for their other one. So it's two. But we also saw the black man in that cave, so it's more than. And we also saw the woman with the black hair. So there seem to be more, but maybe they're coupled up. Maybe they're somehow connected. Okay, but we oop, hey. Oh. Ooh. Oh, okay. Hi. She's, by the way, the shapeshifter is gorgeous. I mean, Marissa is gorgeous, but the shapeshifter, she has like one of those faces that I really am drawn to. It's just an incredible face. Oh, I don't even have to go. So hi, found you. So that's it. I probably didn't even untackle everything, but I can do this. So what do we do now? Oh. Oh.
I'm part of you now.
Will you turn into me? Oh, I can tell you that's boring. That's a boring life you're choosing. I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend it. I wonder what happened to Marissa. Did Marissa ever exist? I think it was implied. Or do they really conjure up completely different people? Achievement unlocked, Immortality. Wow, that's like a very Lynchian ending where it's like, I think I know what happened, but not really. Don't ask me about it. Like, I have this, you know, sometimes when you have a concept in your head, but you couldn't put it to words, that's how I feel about this. Like, I think I know what this is about. It's about immortality, you know, and it's about, I mean, you have the shapeshifters and the acting, which is the same, you know, in that you take on different roles, and you always have to make sure that you are staying yourself and don't get caught up in those roles. And so I think since she went back to Marissa, she harmed herself because it's not healthy, and it strained her too much to get back to this character that was probably already dead, you know. And in the end, she died. And might be resurrected, but maybe not. So maybe that was why the other one really told her not to strain herself and took care and wanted to make sure that she didn't strain herself too much, because maybe that's the risk, that you either like just dissolve into nothing, just really die, or resurrect. Good lord. I like the acoustic version of that song, but this... No. You know what this sounds like? You know, in the late 90s and early 2000s, you had a lot of casting shows, and that's like the song, you know, that they came up with at the end. That was like the hit song, and then 3 months later, you didn't even hear anything about that band anymore. That's what this sounds like. Or like of a twin comedy, Disney comedy show. I don't even know what to think about this game. Also, I don't know what to think because it's really loud in my headphones. Oh, COVID-19 testing nurses! Bianca, Yolanda, Lexi, Shakila! Thank you for keeping everyone safe on the set. Give it up. Oh, I don't want to clap. That's so condescending, but that's kind of cute. It's interesting. Really interesting. Yeah, I don't really know what to think of this game. I don't even know whether I would put it into the horror genre, to be quite honest. I know it has been pretty much anonymously named horror, and the views and everything, but I think it's, if at, like, I mean, yeah, David Lynch is also horror. It's difficult to explain because it's very artsy, and I don't mean that as a put down. I don't mean that negatively, but it is creepy at times. You know, I was really creeped out at certain points in the game, but then the ending and the actual story in itself was less horrifying and more existential, I think. You know, that's interesting that they have the whole cast and everything for each movie. Yeah, so the story, I think it's really interesting. I think this is a game where it probably is worth it to get into it again, to see if you can find other scenes, look differently, search differently. It was the same with Telling Lies, that I had a certain ending and it indicated that there were different endings. I don't know, I'm quite sure that here maybe the ending is always the same, but the way how you get to it is probably different with each playthrough. And you can, I mean, there was in the How Long to Beat on the homepage where you can see how long a gameplay usually takes. It also says that if you're very thorough, it can take up to 10 hours or more. And I think we're clocking here on, we had 4 episodes, so 7 hours. So I probably could have discovered a lot more. And, you know, so I think this is a cool replay game. I think it's even a game where if you watch this playthrough that, and you're really interested in this, that you could, you know, get it and play it yourself and still have a great time and not be bored, because you can do everything, you know, differently. You can put things together differently, order everything differently. So I think that's really, it's a beautiful way to structure a game like this. But that's usually with Sam Barlow games, that it's always a different experience, which is really nice. When it comes to the story, I was really engaged. So I think it was really interesting to get to the stories of the 3 different movies, to Marissa what's behind it. Once I unlocked I think actually I'm a bit sad that once I unlocked the key scene, it actually didn't take that long for the game to end. I would have liked more time to find out more about it, find more of those hidden clips, find more about the background of these shapeshifters, if they are shapeshifters, you know, I mean, that's my own interpretation. So that was a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. And I'm also not quite sure whether I fully like that story, that backstory, you know, the shapeshifter story. I really, like, it was super creepy when we had those different faces and everything. And I can't even say whether it's a good story or not, because I think there's more to discover. So I cannot really, like, what I discovered was not enough for me to really be happy with that. However, I did like the whole movie and Marissa stories, and I also like the general concept of her being taken over, or being someone else, pretending to be a Marissa, and coming back. It was very melancholic towards the end also. So, you know, it was like you first had the mystery, then it started to be really more of a thriller once Marissa shot, you know, her co-actor. And then suddenly it turned really existential and sad once the shapeshifters were introduced, which is a really weird mood shift. And actually, you know, it's an interesting decision by the writers and by the director, because usually in a horror movie it gets more and more scary, you know, and here it got less scary actually towards the ending, which, yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make of it. And I think this is one of those games, I mean, I heavily recommend it because it shows what you can do in indie gaming, you know, how much you can do something that is really very unique and different. I mean, outside of Telling Lies by Sam Barlow as well, I have not played anything even remotely close to this. And this is always a joy to play a game where you feel like this is so unique in its own little thing, its own little way. It's like, I rattle on about it, but for me, Moondown was like that. It was completely its own. I've never seen or played anything before and after. And also, all the Yames games have also this very unique feel to it that I have not found in any other games. And here as well, so it's beautiful to see what can be done in indie gaming. And because it was so engaging and so interesting, I would heavily recommend it. I think with the story, I'm not sure what to think of it, but that's also because it's directly after the game, you know. I didn't have time to mull it over, and also I might have missed some scenes to really fully grasp it. But it's usually I'm very much a story gal, you know? Like the story is oh my god, we have to listen to this song again. Like if I don't like the story, I don't like the game. But in this case, it's interesting that I'm not super convinced of the story, but I still really, really love the game. And that's, I think, yeah, my final words on this. But I want to wait until the whole, you know, until all the credits are done, and then I can say goodbye without that song in my head. That's just, good lord. Also, I think the acting was fantastic. I think a commenter on my channel, I think Oleg, said that he wonders whether the actors were kind of cheesy and bad by design, and I actually think so. Because there's something about you know, those 3 movies, I mean, they're all interesting, but they're all, like, also really cheesy. I mean, the last one, I think, was even the best, you know, when it comes to the dialogues and the acting maybe, but they all, I think, were a bit more with an eye winking, especially Ambrosio. And so I think the actors all kind of overacted at times on purpose. Because in between the scenes you could see that they actually played well and very realistically, you know. I mean, the Marissa's actress was really convincing, you know, and so I think it was by design. So I would say the acting was really cool. I also like I like the sets and the costumes and everything. I mean, I talked about those wigs and I still hate them. But I guess that's what you get in a B movie, you know. That's the wigs you get. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think the sound design was fantastic because those roar sounds, they really unnerved me. And it's so weird because just this appearance of the sound, and the first time you notice that it keeps going, you know, when you're pause the clip, so it's not part of the clip. That was one of the most striking moments, I think, in the whole game. I wish there would have been a few more like this, because I think that was amazing. And then the second time where it was really like, oh, what's happening, was when you had the first reveal of the hidden layer of the clip, which in my case I think was two of everything, the acoustic version. Yeah. But yeah, the soundtrack is beautiful. Everything, like, it was really a work of, you can see in the whole game it was a work of dedication and love, you know. Like, I think that's also the special thing about indie games, particularly because with those AAA productions, very often, I mean, there's so many people involved, so many investors and so many big wigs, you know, and marketing and whatnot. I mean, of course, indie games also want to make money, but there's still more hands-on vibe to them. And so you see more the small details, you know, that show that someone really cared about this, the small things. Not to say that you can't have that in AAA games, because you can, but it is very often more difficult to see that. And in this game, I think you absolutely saw that in every little thing, you know, there was really love and dedication to the whole story and everything. So, yeah. Beautiful game. I'm really happy I played this. Very interesting. What did you think? What's your interpretation of the story? That is the one thing I want to know. What do you think? Do you feel like you can know? We don't see her anymore. Oh, there she is. Oh no, I don't want to. Oh, shit. Can I? Oh god, we're back to the credits. Okay. Oh, what? Marissa Marcel is more than just an enigma. Born in France, Marissa moved to London in the late 60s, where she worked as a photographer's model. Her appearance in a soap commercial was spotted by a casting director and led to her being cast from thousands of hopefuls by Arthur Fisher as Matilda in his 1968 Ambrosio. The movie was never released. Was I supposed to read this at the beginning? Marcel followed this up with the 1970 movie Minsky, a collaboration with her DP from Ambrosio John Duick. The movie was never finished. Yeah, because they killed one of the stars. Marcel was not heard from for over 20 years, until in 1999 she reappeared to film Two of Everything, reuniting with John Duick, now a successful and acclaimed director. With Duick's death, this movie was also shuttered. Marissa Marcel was never heard from again. What? He died? We did not have any single scene, but there was one scene where, like, he was not there, and they said, well, let's still continue. The scene by the pool. Was that? That's creepy. Holy shit. In 1968, many thought Marcel would become a huge star, but these days she's largely forgotten. A few dedicated enthusiasts have attempted to find her lost movies and floated their own theories of what happened to Marissa Marcel, to no avail. Then in 2020, a breakthrough. A large cache of film was discovered containing footage from all three of Marcel's movies. After carefully collating and scanning the footage, we have created this piece of computer software in an attempt to preserve this work and share it so that Marissa may live again in the hearts of the audiences. Man, I should have read this at the beginning, because then I also would have known about John Duick and I would have clicked more on him. Shit, what happened to him? What happened to him? Can I continue this? I can. Wait, what? We can actually do this. You know what? But we will do this next time. I think this is a good, yeah, this should be like the ending, and then I will have one more or two episodes more as an addendum, where we get to more of these scenes, you know, look at those, because I think to do this now is kind of weird. But yeah, let's dive into this afterwards and see if we missed something, if we find some new cool scenes. Maybe, you know, elaborate more on the story. That would be cool. Yeah, but really, what is your... Man, what's your whole opinion, analysis, interpretation of this game? Did you like it also? Did you like the story? Because, I mean, I was really deep into making this entertaining, you know, finding cool stuff. So I think at times I could not really soak in everything as you probably did as a viewer. So what's your impression of the game, of the stories? How did you like it? What did you think of my interpretation? What's your interpretation? Do we disagree? Give it to me. You know, I really want to... Yeah, I want to talk about it. I'm so excited. This is so interesting. It's a lovely game. It really is. It's just so different, you know. I mean, you gotta... It's one of those things, you know, when you're in an art gallery and there's something that's so different and you don't even know if you like it, but you feel like this is really special. Because like, even not knowing whether you like something always, for me, is interesting. That is... It's like some people, you know, where you don't really know, are they attractive or not? Like, ultimately, they are, you know, because they're so intriguing. So it's one of those things where it's just really interesting and curious. It makes me curious. So yeah, I'm looking forward to your comments. And yeah, we will probably see each other, maybe not next week with this game, you know, obviously with other games, but I will totally get back to this and add at least one other episode where we'll get into a few more scenes, try to uncover more. I want to get to this, you know, I want to find out more, you know. But yeah, so for now, ta-ta for now. I hope you have an amazing day, and see you next time. Bye bye. Beep. This is my self-recorded outro song so I don't get hit with copyright claims. If you subscribe to a lot of fun tutorials, reviews, and let's plays.